What's up, YouTubeites and long boxes? This is your man TiVo, and I got my man Darkside Jedi creeping in the background. Say what's up, Ryan.
Yo, yo, hey everybody. We got some scoops for you. 8:30 on a Friday night.
That's right. A little bit later than we thought, but I told you guys I would interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to go live. I just want to make sure that everybody can see what we're doing here. Has it started yet, Ryan?
Yep, we're going.
All right, so let me make sure I can go into the YouTubes and make sure everybody can see that we are indeed live. Sorry, guys. All right, just making sure I got the right window up. Sorry for everything, guys. Let me go back into the old chat to tell everybody to go shout out to Matt Forge.
You know what? If they can't figure it out, they're all adults. I'm sure it's
you
not
guys
that
can watch
difficult.
it on the rewind. You know what, Ryan?
We'll
I
wait
think
a little bit.
Yeah, I just saw the update on my account that it said that. Let me make sure that all the interwebs have the old scoop. Every guy, go back to the old video and tell everybody, Lester, you did not miss it. Sorry. YouTube is really changing, messing around with us with their new COPPA settings and everything. So we got to kind of have to jump through some extra loops. You have to say this video is not for kids and all this good stuff, but it doesn't mean Uncle TiVo doesn't love the children. I love
For
the children.
mature audiences only.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I'm saying we ain't all about
Or PG-13.
Yeah, sure, why not? Oh, here it is. Let me go into the old chat and tell everybody to go here.
So how's everybody doing on this Friday night / early evening in the West Coast?
I don't even know how to kill this old video. It still thinks it's being scheduled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this old one.
I say just go on with the show and you can figure that out afterwards.
Yeah. So, hey, man, we've got breaking news from my man, Mikey Sutton. If you're on the old one, please go over to the new one. We got 28, 30 people in the new one. So shout out to everybody in the live chat. There was some news that dropped a couple of days ago, man. The Rock dropped it at a interview. He was actually at a press junket for his new film, Jumanji, and he just casually said, yeah, I'm doing Black Adam, and it's going to be the Justice Society in it. So let's throw up some graphics, Ryan, good folks, what Mikey Sutton exclusive is, because it's a doozy, man. That's right, boys and girls. First of all, I'm going to read you back what Mikey Sutton's original scoop was, and then I'll read you the extra tidbits that I got a part of this that's exclusive to the Lords of Longbox. First of all, thank you, Mikey Sutton. I'm going to read this verbatim off of the Geekosity Facebook page, which is your home for Mikey Sutton exclusives and Lords of the Longbox. Scoop 11/22/19. This is I'm reading this from Mikey Sutton's Facebook verbatim. So if I say things, I'm reading it in the first person from his perspective. Ooh, you like that?
Ooh.
Don't know big English words, Ryan.
That is
vernacular is spectacular. You know what TiVo stands for?
you have to tell me.
Tenacious vocabulary. That's what it stands for, baby. That's MC TiVo, tenacious vocabulary. But let's go.
Sexy.
So we first broke this on a 3 Men in the Basement channel on July 30th, the week that my channel got terminated. We talked that a Black Adam movie was going forward, and that The Rock wanted to use a Justice Society plot for the film. We reported that on July 30th. Go check it out on a 3 Men in the Basement channel. The receipts are there. Just 2 days ago, this dropped. So Mikey Sutton reached out to his sources. We originally dropped it from our source, The Black Knight. The Black Knight and Mikey Sutton have been talking to each other, and they came together with this. The DCEU is dead. Long live the DCEU. Warner Brothers was initially set to abandon the concept of a connected cinematic universe. This is no secret. The upcoming Batman trilogy has no relation to Shazam or Joker or the Snyder-spawned Survivors, Aquaman, Suicide Squad, and Wonder Woman franchises. With Joker smashing $1 billion globally, Warner Brothers was convinced this was the way to go, especially since they didn't have their own Kevin Feige to weave it all together. At this point, Greg Berlanti should be cast as the Invisible Man because nobody ever pays attention to him on the big screen. So this goes back to our reporting that The suits of WB saw the dollar signs. They saw what the Joker did, hitting $1 billion. They go, we don't need a DC extended universe. Well, when somebody like The Rock comes a knocking and he wants some things done, he has the juice to pull it off. So, however, not everyone at WB agreed with that path of going the route of the Joker and Lex Luthor solo films. Marvel Studios will continue to dominate with the superhero kingdom, especially as Disney Plus is part of their arsenal. There's only so many black label R-rated villain movies that could rake in billions with. With no Justice League, WB was left without an Avengers of their own. And we all know they want that Avengers Endgame money, right? Back in July, my colleague, the Black Knight, and I scooped on the Lords of the Long Box, that's us, that the Justice Society would be introduced in the Black Adam film months before anyone else. But little did I know this was part of a larger picture. Yes, part of our scoop was like, hey, he wants to do this, that, and the other. And we were saying back then, this was a contingent on WB giving The Rock the proper budget that he needed, right? Because we all know Shazam costs about $80 million to make. Do you think you could do a proper Justice Society for that, Ryan? For
No.
$80 million?
No.
No, you couldn't.
Hundreds of
Not
millions.
what we're talking about here. The Snyder Cut of Justice League for HBO Max will be the final farewell to the polarizing era of DC films. We just talked about that on Wednesday, how the Snyder Cut was finally going to get released on HBO Max. And for those hashtag release the Snyder Cut fans, be careful what you wish for. You're finally going to get it. So hopefully it does great, but if it doesn't, they're ready to move on from it. Justice League will live on, yes, but not with many of the same actors, although Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot are safe. However, what WB wants to do initially is spin off the Justice Society from Black Adam into their own movie if it succeeds as they expect. And this is the Lords of the Long Box exclusive that wasn't on the Geekosity report. The purpose of this is for WB to take another shot at the superhero team film without the baggage of Justice League, right? They don't have to look back at Cyborg and the Flash and all these other characters. Aquaman, Wonder Woman are doing their own thing and they're successful at it. So why change that? Characters like Hawkman, Dr. Fate, the Golden Age Green Lantern. What's his name again, Ryan? The Golden Age Green Lantern?
Alan Scott.
Alan Scott, thank you very much. That's my favorite Green Lantern costume, by the way. So they're going to run with Justice Society with Hawkman, Dr. Fate, the Golden Age Green Lantern, Atom Smasher, Power Girl, and even the Spectre will be soaring across the screen. The blueprint for the Justice Society will be the Jeff Johns, Dave Goyer run that made an old team cool for contemporary audiences. If we were talking about this in the Lord's little, our own little Facebook private group that you cannot be a part of, by the way, that Jeff Johns took over for James Robinson on the Justice Society of America in about 1999. That's how long Jeff Johns has been around. The guy looks incredibly young, right? So he took it over and he kind of did his spin on the Justice Society back then. According to inside sources, Felix Faust will be a major antagonist for the Justice Society film.
Oh.
I don't know who Felix Faust is, but I'm pretty sure.
Justice League of America number 10, I believe, is his first appearance. He's like
By the way,
he's like a magician, magic guy.
Yeah. So, by the way, we will be dropping Wednesday a long-term spec list based on characters that we're going to find out are going to be reserved for the Justice Society film. So, hang on tight for that on Wednesday. So, who will be behind the curtains of the new DCEU? I was skeptical of this happening initially, as I heard he wanted to focus on his own IP after working on two huge iconic franchises with Star Wars and Star Trek for other companies, but WB wants J.J. Abrams to take over. However, no deal has been struck yet from what I'm told, but there's a strong chance it will. Holy cow. That is gigantic freaking news, man. Gigantic. I mean, that's I don't know what to say. I will be the first one to admit I was wrong. I didn't think that DC could pull this off. I didn't even think a Snyder Cut could be released, but obviously it's still being released, but not in theaters, but they're still denying it up to this single point. And it just goes to the proof that the star power of Hollywood, where a franchise caliber actor such as The Rock can come out and say, hey, this is what I want. Will you pony up the money? And I'll add this as a caveat, drink, since I used that word caveat correctly. As a caveat, I would say they can now make this Justice Society and Black Adam movie with a bigger budget. We're talking years down the road, by the way. Well, because Black Adam's going to come out, and then Justice Society will probably be another 2-3 years after that. But just like Marvel or Disney, they now got that Disney Plus subscriber movie money. HBO Max is about to get Warner Brothers a bunch of more money, capital, Skrilla, cheese, cheddar, at all. That gives them more money to develop projects that perhaps they were a little skeptical in the past. I mean, here's a bad example. Charlie's Angels just came out and flopped, bombed big time, right? It's probably going to lose money. Now, you can't take those chances when you're a studio like Sony, right, who have nothing to back it up against. But if you have something of a streaming service, if it doesn't work on there, guess what? You can always do. You can put it back on your streaming service, and it just recycles itself. This is why the streaming arena is so big right now. If you think about Hulu, and people are worried that all the Marvel's IP is going to go to Disney Plus, it's not. Hulu is here to stay. If anything, if the reports you've been reading, the tea leaves, Hulu is only going to get bigger, because guess what? What's going to happen to the Netflix Marvel characters, R-rated Marvel properties that belong to Fox, such as Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2, and Logan? When they no longer can be streamed on other platforms such as Netflix, Marvel can put them exclusively on Hulu. And now they've...
And not to interrupt you, but Disney Plus has a tier where you can get Hulu as part of your package.
Hulu, ESPN Plus, and Disney. So they want to market this. So think of that the same way that they're going to do HBO Max. I mean, there are so many different little splinters of WB. There's the CW, DC Universe, HBO Max, and HBO Max is going to be the overall dominant one of them all. I read an article somewhere where they said HBO Max will be all of the HBOs rolled into one, where it's your one stop for everything. And when you get subscriber money, you can do higher production valued things. I mean, I'm about to go watch The Mandalorian right after this, but have you seen the production values on The Mandalorian?
Amazing.
It is incredible. It's incredible.
It's movie theater quality.
If you think about Game of Thrones season 1 and 2, man, the budget was pretty low, to the point where they couldn't even make little dire wolves because it cost too much money. If you think about it, that's absolutely ridiculous. When later on it got so popular, they got all this extra money. So for those who's joining us again, thank you. There's about 71 of you. We appreciate you joining us on a Friday night. We know it's busy. You want to go out and do stuff, but I'm going to read the scoop back to you again. That's what we like to do. Cannonball. Shout out, first of all, to Mikey Sutton, who gave us this. Also, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification key. This way, you get notified on your mobile phone, device, email, whatever, whenever I just go live out of the blue, because sometimes the news, we need to drop it because it's hot. Oh, did I just say that? Drop it like it's hot?
Drop it like it's hot. That's so 1990s.
Anyway, shout out to Marco88, Discovery Bay Comics, JLS Comics, holding it down with the wrench. Amazing Murphinator, the big cheater that he is. Unknown Comics Guy. $3 Theater. Shout out to $3 Theater. He does a lot of great content. No, we don't use StreamYard right now, $3 Theater. This is actually Wirecast. It's a little bit faster, less lag, and a bit clearer. StreamYard we use when my man Darkside Jedi is not holding it down in the production room. Thunder House Design, Rag, Geeky Swag Shop, our sponsor. Shout out. Go to the Geeky Swag Shop. Use the discount code of LOTLB to get 15% anything off in the Geeky Swag Shop, including Lords of the Longbox hoodies that are now available to keep you warm in the cold, cold winters ahead. Jonathan Santos, Tony Sanders holding it down. Right after this scoop, check out our brothers at 3 Men in the Basement. They are going live at 6 p.m. tonight. They got a new sponsor with some interesting information there. Look at those gorgeous Lords of Longbox hoodies. And I can attest to you that the zip-up hoodie is incredibly soft, because I actually own the only one in existence. Yes. All right. Thank you guys for all. I think there's about 70 of you here. That's pretty good. There's 73 people for last minute and on the wrong channel. There's still 3 people in the old one, by the way. So
poor guys.
Yeah. But anyway, throw up the graphic, and we're going to run through this one more time for you boys and girls. Let me get a drink of water, because it's a lot. All right. This is coming from our man Mikey Sutton over on Geekosity. All right. Scoop 11-2. I feel like Captain Kirk. Stardate 11-2-19. The DCEU is dead. Long live the DCEU. Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers was initially set to abandon the concept of a connected cinematic universe. This is no secret. The upcoming Batman trilogy has no relation to Shazam or Joker or the Snyder Spawn survivors, Aquaman, Suicide Squad, and Wonder Woman franchises. With Joker smashing $1 billion globally, WB was convinced this was the only way to go, especially since they didn't have their own Kevin Feige to weave it all together. However, not everyone at WB agreed with that path. Marvel Studios will continue to dominate with the superhero kingdom, especially with Disney Plus as part of their arsenal. There's only so many black label R-rated villain movies they can rake in billions with. With no Justice League, WB was left without an Avengers of their own. So essentially, what Mikey's saying, boys and girls, they were left out without a tentpole franchise. If you know what tentpole means, that means a giant franchise you can build on. Like in the past, we use Disney as an example. Pirates of the Caribbean would have been a giant tentpole franchise. Star Wars is a giant tentpole franchise. The Avengers is a tentpole franchise. All right.
Vocabulary.
Yes.
I like it.
There you go. Hey, we're dropping knowledge, man. Dropping bombs over Baghdad. All right. So back in July, my colleague, the Black Knight, and I scooped on the Lords of the Long Box that the Justice Society would be introduced in the Black Adam film months before anyone else. But little did I know this was part of a larger picture. That video was actually the Lords of the Long Box on the 3 Men in a Basement channel. It was on the July 30th episode, the week that my channel got terminated, when I was hitting 6,000 subscribers. But that's neither here nor there. That's just me crying over tears of spilt milk. The Snyder cut of Justice League for HBO Max will be the final farewell to that polarizing era of DC films. Justice League will live on, yes, but not without many of those same actors, although Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot are safe. I think that's how you say it. It's Gadot. I was brushing up the pronunciation. Gadot is not it. It's Gadot. However, what the WB wants to do initially is spin off the Justice Society from Black Adam into their own movie if it succeeds as they expect. So this goes back to the 3 Men in Basement channel when with Lords of Long Box drove the Black Knight report that The Rock wants to add Justice Society characters into the Black Adam film. Fast forward 2 days ago, The Rock, during a Q&A session for the Jumanji press junket, said Justice Society will be part of the Black Adam film. Here's the exclusive for Lords of the Long Box. The purpose of this is for WB to take another shot at the superhero team film without the baggage of the original Justice League. Here's who we're hearing they want to be using for the Justice Society film. Characters like Hawkman, Dr. Fate, the Golden Age Green Lantern. And who is that again?
Alan Scott.
There you go. That was a test.
Yeah.
Atom Smasher, Power Girl, and even one of my favorites, the Spectre, will be soaring. Actually, the Spectre and Dr. Fate are my two favorite DC characters of all time.
They're awesome characters, for sure.
So we got that team. The blueprint for the Justice Society will be the Jeff Johns, Dave Goyer run that made the team cool again for a contemporary audience back in 1999. 1999 is the Justice Society run that Jeff Johns took over from James Robinson. That, by the way, that's the comic if you want to go out and look for it. According to inside sources, Felix Faust will be the major antagonist for the Justice Society film. So he looks like to be at least the first big baddie they're going to use. So who will be behind the curtains of the new DCEU? I was skeptical of this happening initially, as I heard he wanted to focus on his own intellectual property after working at two huge iconic franchises, Star Wars and Star Trek. But other companies, meaning, Disney and Sony, I believe, is the one that did Star Trek. But Warner Brothers wants J.J. Abrams to take over. Yes, that one. However, no deal's been struck yet. From what he's been told, there's a strong chance that, thank you once again, Mikey Sutton, for that rather seismic scoop, I think.
Huge, especially for DC people.
If this happens, that puts DC right back into the game, right back into the mix. And really, the only way this happened is because of the gravity that The Rock demands. He is the highest paid actor in Hollywood for a reason. He made these demands, and they finally said, "You know what? That sounds a good idea." And
don't count the Shazam movie out, because if that wasn't a successful film, Black Adam wouldn't be happening.
What's interesting, though, is The Rock didn't say anything about Shazam.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, you got to think he's thinking, You got to think Zachary Levi's thinking like, "Yo, what am I, chap live over
Sure,
here?
sure,
Forget
right.
about it." So that's the news, boys and girls. I think that's great news as a comic book fan.
Very
Even
good. I'm
though I'm a
happy.
Marvel fan, I love the magical side of the DC universe. I love the Spectre and I love Doctor Fate. Simply because I'm a Doctor Strange fan. And basically, Doctor Fate is DC's Doctor Strange. But or vice versa, since Doctor Fate is a Golden Age hero. The JSA run that we're talking about is Jeff Johns and David Goyer came out. I believe Jeff Johns took over in 1999, so it's that long ago. I think by Wednesday we're going to have a long-term spec list on the characters that are going to be reserved for this Justice Society film. So think Justice League going bye bye, Justice Society, and I think Ryan, we all speculated in our group chat that we think this is going to be Earth 2,
Hmm. I think so
right?
too. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, because I
Sounds.
mean there's a ton of great stories in Justice Society, Freedom Fighters, all these characters that don't belong. I don't know what Earth 1, I guess, is what you say. Since there's supposedly 52 Earths, but
Right.
I mean that's why if it's easier for them to explain an Earth 2 now in the cinema, or excuse me, the theater. Cinema is what they call it in Europe, with Greg Berlanti laying the groundwork for Crisis of Infinite Earths.
It
That makes
works.
the explanation of an Earth 2 on the big screen a much more plausible, easier. If you think Wonder Woman and Aquaman belong on Earth 1, I'm thinking Justice Society belongs on Earth 2. I'm just speculating on my part. But
Well,
it
that's
sounds
what
like
they
that.
did in the comics. They took the Golden Age characters, made it Justice Society, and called them Earth 2. And then
Yeah.
they had the new Justice League, and that's Earth 1. So, yeah, that's exactly how it goes.
And there's actually precedent for this too in the DC animated movies. There was a DC animated film where the Justice Society came over. Remember, there was Our Man and a couple other cats. Remember, they tried to come over and destroy this Earth One,
Uh huh.
all the cats
Yep.
from the Justice Society. So there's a lot of stories to
And
choose
they
from
did it on
there.
Smallville, too.
Yeah. So I don't want to run any more of our brothers' times. Go check out the 3 Men in the Basement. They're going live right now. Let me put it in the live chat. Yeah, we're gonna go live definitely on Wednesday, guys. We have a Black Friday sale that we're gonna be rocking this Friday after Thanksgiving. Wednesday, we're gonna go live with excuse me. Wednesday, we're gonna have a preview auction. Ryan, just give them a hint on what they can be getting.
Well, for me, you're going to be getting all Batman. And this is the Batman title, not Detective Comics. 10 cent, 12 cent, and 15-cent comics, everybody. And I guarantee you, you're not going to want to miss it because, unlike a lot of these auctions that I see, I'm not starting the bids at the top dollar. You're going to get a deal.
Yeah. I'm gonna have some books too. King of the Golden State's gonna have some books. I think Otto is gonna be so there'll be at least four of us. I'm gonna be slanging first appearances and first issues, all old books. Yeah, we don't have any modern variants, so you're gonna get some killer deals. Ryan is liquidating his Batman
Yes.
bronze, silver, and golden age. I am gonna be everything I sell is going to be stuff that I've talked about, respect on, or as a first appearance, or as a thing. We don't have any fillers. So if you want a great deal, we do this is our third annual Black Friday auction. So make sure you stay tuned. Wednesday, we're definitely going to be going live, regardless if we have that long-term spec on the Justice Society. We are going to show the books that you'll be able to auction on Friday. So it'll be Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. The Lords of the Long Box, third annual Black Friday sale. And with that, boys and girls, go over people out our brothers on 3 Men in the Basement. They're fixing to go live as soon as we're off.
They're live now, man. Go.
They're live right
I
now.
just
Go over
got
there.
the notification.
I put the link in the live chat. Go. What are you
All
doing
right.
here? Get out of here.
Peace out, everybody.
Peace.